Hello, this is Robert Smith. I'm here in Oklahoma. And I just received an email the other day about a mother writing about her son who's has spent a lot of time with the technology, internet, gaming, and she's wanting to help figure out how to deal with his anger issues and also his not focusing on his homework and doing things that's more productive in his life. That's a very common age-old problem, not just today. Of course, you know, today they're using technology, computers, iPhones, etc. Knowing how to deal, first of all, with anger and knowing how to deal with, you know, getting your kids to do what they need to do, which is, you know, it's every generation. But, you know, I remember when I was in Wichita, Kansas, a mother had brought her 17-year-old son, and of course he's staying home playing the internet, getting high, smoking dope, hates school, hates his parents, hates his life, and she booked a session with me. So she brought him in, and he didn't want to come, and so he sat with me, and we worked for 2 hours addressing some of his issues. And of course, you know, what I do is I just find the resources that people use to create their problems. For this guy here, he hated school. He hated school. He hated going to school. He hated his parents. They divorced. He felt hurt, rejected, frustrated, wanted to get high all the time, and his life was going nowhere. And he spent a lot of time wasting his time on the internet. So basically, I just sat down. I just did an emotional assessment, such as memories and issues and problems, everything he gave me, all right? And so I did is I started going and changing and addressing how do you feel about school, how he hated school when he was 5 years old, and issues at school, all of his experiences there, and then dealing with the hurt and the pain, the issues he had when his parents divorced. And by the way, this is a very common emotional issue throughout all generations. You know, this has a major tendency to affect people in a lot of ways. So we addressed the emotions here, and then of course we addressed his fear of getting a job, addressed his issues of being in a relationship. So we tapped the whole 2 hours. And of course, when we got done, you know, I hit some really big emotional stuff on the way. When we got done, he went out to his car, Don picked him up, and he told his mom, this is a total waste of time. And then 6 months later, I'm back in Wichita, Kansas again, and his mother comes up to me and said, you won't believe about my son. He says he's in college now, he has a job, he's not smoking dope, and he has a girlfriend within 6 months. Now there is an interesting thing about children, adults, is that we have a tendency to use our past hurts, pains, fears, traumas at an unconscious level, not knowing why we do what we do. Basically, it's like this. You're walking down this path, an experience will happen, it'll redirect you to a different direction, a different attitude, a different belief about self and the world. And if we continue on this path that leads us into a direction of anger, hurt, rejection, abandonments, or whatever the issue is, that path will have all kinds of obstacles that path would normally have. But if on this path you meet like a practitioner, FasterEFT practitioner, and we clean up the emotional issues, the things that we use to make a determination about ourselves and the world and the life, and then once we change this, all of a sudden you're walking a new way. That means your attitude will change, your viewpoint will change, your actions will change, your emotions will change, because you basically refocused your life in a different way because you addressed and released and let go of what hurt you, bothered you, and affected you. Because our brains operate from what I would call an imprint to imprint to imprint, which means when I say, for example, you can check yourself, I will say liver and onions. And notice what happens in your mind. Something occurs, either a picture, feeling, or sensation, and your mind and your actions will say yes or no. all depending on your internal references. Other people have a different answer. This is what you call a flash of an imprint. And it happens so fast you don't even know what you're doing and why you do what you do, because the brain takes this snapshot of who we are and what we are and how to do it. So if you have, and we all do it, if you have experiences setting at the unconscious level where you made a major decision, a value about yourself and the world, your brain will use that. Now the cool thing is that you can change those. Those can be easily changed with FasterEFT, with a process that we use in knowing how to re-imprint, rewrite your story. So a lot of children, as well as adults, will have a single experience and they'll make a value assessment at the unconscious level, and from that point they'll be walking differently. And a lot of people say, well, how can FasterEFT change your life in one single session? I said it's the same way as if you had an accident or someone said something, it changed your life in a single 1 second. It's all because our brain operates from imprints, and if you can change the imprint, your behaviors will change. So, how do you deal with anger? Well, you address what causes anger, which is your personal values, experiences that you hold, and attitudes that you use on yourself and others. So that's what FasterEFT does. It goes to the imprints and re-imprints your life. It gives you a new way of looking at yourself and the world. And so that's what we do. FasterEFT is a re-imprinting process. It's very powerful, very simple, and there's 6 basic ways and many variations within these 6 ways that we use to re-imprint memories. So it goes with the old cliche, change your mind, you change your life. All right, this is Robert Smith here in Oklahoma, and my word of advice for you is take full, complete ownership of your own internal representations, what you say, what you do within yourself, and make sure everything you have within your mind is positive and good, because what you carry, you're going to use on yourself or other people. Love yourself, like yourself, be kind to yourself from within yourself, because what you do in here, you have a tendency to do out there to other people. Peace.
Well, I found what I've been looking for. It is my own set of keys. Yes, I have found what I've been searching for. It is my own set of keys to open up love. My